Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Target, also known as Don't Buy the Seller, a Korean thriller from 2023. Now this one slipped under everyone's radar, but I'm always open to checking out a Korean thriller, whether it's well known or not. So I was Googling for movies to find, and this one popped up. So our protagonist is a woman, played by Shin Hye-sun, who is an ordinary office worker. And she buys a secondhand washing machine after moving, but finds out that she was scammed after buying a broken appliance. Now, after some effort, she does succeed in finding the shady seller on the internet, and she leaves a bunch of comments calling him out as a fraud, disrupting his transactions with other potential buyers. And from that day on, a series of creepy things happen to our protagonist, and her daily life gradually begins to be destroyed. Now, one thing I enjoyed about the premise is that, at one point or another, we've all wanted to just tee off on someone on the internet. Our protagonist does exactly that. It takes her a while to find the guy who conned her out of her money, but when she finds him, she goes all out with the disrespectful language, taunting him, threatening him, stuff like that. And she is justified in acting that way because the dude scammed her, right? Unfortunately, this guy obtains these used items that he's selling by murdering people and then selling off their goods on the internet. So he gets angry and makes it his mission to make our protagonist's life a living hell. So it's pretty bad luck for our main character, but sometimes in life, you just need to take the loss and just walk away from an undesirable situation, and that's one of the lessons you can learn from watching this film. Now, the lead actress, Shin Hye-sun, is very good in this, actually. Slowly but surely, her character really starts to break down psychologically to the point of having panic attacks. And in this situation, it's completely understandable. I thought she portrayed that transition very well. I actually like both of the cop characters in this film, too, the older guy and his younger colleague. At first, during the opening act, you might assume that they might be completely useless. It's a Korean film, and it's quite common, right? It's a common trope. But they do become increasingly more useful as the film rolls along, and they're involved in some of the best moments of suspense later on. Now, retribution by this villain begins with small annoyances against this woman. The first few acts of Target are a slower burn, but there's a threatening vibe throughout. And one element I enjoyed was that the bad guy uses modern technology to torment this woman, even when he's nowhere near. And I won't go into details as to how he does this, but it seemed pretty plausible. It did in the film. And the threat level continues to escalate until some pretty deranged dangers are presented later on. Now, the highlight set pieces are a car chase and a solid slugfest to the death, both of which occur during the final act. And these scenes generate a lot of excitement because the filmmakers really effectively build up to them. There's anticipation for a final confrontation. There's an intensity to their presentation. And you are rooting for the good guys to take down this creep who's surprisingly difficult to catch and defeat physically as well. And the ending is quite satisfying. I strongly recommend Target. This was kind of like an old school viewing experience for me. The only reason I watched it was because it was a Korean thriller and no one's talking about it, but it's a good find. It is a good find. It's currently available streaming on Tubi, and if this ever got a Blu-ray release, I would definitely purchase it, but it doesn't currently. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.